The balance is the third thing. You're gonna need that a lot. Now the second thing is we want to go ahead and create an order. So let's say order, let's actually say market order equals exchange dot create market by order. Now here you would have to pass in the symbol, so I'll just do ETH USD. You gotta spell it right, of course. ETH USD like this. And then you have to pass in the size. So let's go ahead and see here. You can see if you hover over it, it says pass in any symbol and then any amount. So if I were to then say print market order, well, it's gonna create the order. We'll go ahead and mark all this out. It's gonna create the order and actually execute the order, and then it's gonna print all the details. Let's go ahead and pull up the exchange so you can actually see this happen. Let's go to contract trading. And you can see here that I have no open positions as of now. Now, with a lot of these exchanges, this is one thing to note. So this is kind of like a bonus. So number 3 was you have to show the balance. Number 2 is this create market order function I'm showing you. But if you're doing contract trading, it can get a little trickier because in contract trading, you have to pass in different parameters and say pretty much, hey, you know, we're not trading this. We don't want to trade the actual coins or whatever. We want to make sure that we are only trading the contracts. So what you have to do, now this totally depends. If you're doing contract trading, this part applies to you. But if you're doing spot trading, this right here is going to make the order on spot. But if I want it to be on the contract side, I have to say params equal. And then you have to figure out the type. Now on Phemex, it's type. And we just type in swap. And then the code is I want to trade off the USD pair. So I would say USD, and it's capital USD. And I would just pass in these params equals params. And now it should create a market order here, and we can see it actually happen. So it should be ETH USD size of 1 on this market, because we passed in the params. So let's see if it works. And there it goes. It printed out something. It printed out the market order, a buy. And I actually, the reason you can't see this is because I'm using a different account. So that's funny. I was trying to show you an example, but I'm using a different account so you can't see it, but you can see it actually created the order. So it says right here, remaining 1, it probably filled immediately. And what I want to do now is I want to show you how to do the reverse. Since I created a market order on the buy side, to make it on the sell side, to get rid of that, I can just turn that to sell and boom. Changes it to a sell. So account size of 1 and boom, there you are. You're algo trading already. So I'm making buys and sells from Visual Studio Code, which is pretty awesome. So number 3 was finding the balance. Number 2 was market orders. And I added this little bonus for you if you're doing contract trading, which would be the params. And then the last thing, the number 1 thing, is how to do limit orders and make sure that they're actually not just regular limit orders, they're post-only limit orders. So what I want to go ahead and do here is say limit order equals exchange dot create limit by order. I'm going to pass in that symbol, and here's another way to do it. I could just say symbol, and I could say size, and I could say params, and let's look at what else it says we need. We need the symbol, we need the amount, we need the price, and we need the params. So if we wanted to get the price, there's more intricate ways we could do this, but I'll just say for now, let's go ahead and look at what the price is of Ethereum. And let's say we'll buy it at 1600. And instead of putting it all in the actual pass through here, we can say price here like that. And I can go ahead and say symbol equals ETHUSD, the size equals 1, and the price equals, let's say, 1600. So it's going to create a limit buy order for the symbol, which is ETHUSD, the size, which is 1, the price, which is 1600, and then it's going to pass in the params in order for me to simply only trade on the contract. Now, if you want to trade somewhere else without the contract, like the spot orders, then you don't actually need that. Right? So that makes sense. If you have any questions, please do let